Did you know? What looks like a forest of tens of thousands of trees in Utah is actually one single organism? A being so large it spans over 100 acres, so heavy it's estimated to weigh over 6,000 tons. And so old, it may have started growing during the last ice age. It's called Pando, Latin for ice spread, and it's also known as the Trembling Giant. Today we're diving into one of the strangest, most mind-bending organisms on Earth. And guess what? This ancient giant is under threat, and its story might change the way you see life, forests, and even individuality. Stick around, because once you understand what Pando really is, you'll never look at a tree the same way again. Before we start, if you like us and want to support us, there's a free and simple way to do that. Just hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out when we put out new videos. We assure you that we will commit to bringing you the best videos each week. We also crave your feedback and suggestions as we aim to give you the best content possible. Now let's dive into one of the most fascinating neurological mysteries you've probably never heard of. At first glance, Pando looks like a regular grove of quaking aspen trees, with tall white trunks, smooth bark and golden leaves that shimmer in the wind. But scientists have confirmed something incredible. Every one of those 47,000 trees you see is genetically identical. They're not separate trees, they're individual stems, or shoots, all growing from a single, massive root system underground. That's right, Pando is a clonal colony, a group of genetically identical individuals that function as one organism. The word clonal comes from the fact that these trees don't reproduce by seeds the usual way. Instead, Pando spreads by sending out new roots, which sprout upward into new tree trunks, called ramets, that are really just extensions of the same organism. Think of it like a giant houseplant that keeps popping up in different rooms, but it's all one root. So where can you meet this ancient being? Pando lives in Fish Lake National Forest in Utah, USA. It spreads across 106 acres, roughly the size of 80 football fields. From above, the forest looks ordinary, but when genetic testing was done in the 1970s and again in the 1990s, scientists were stunned. Each tree they tested came back 100% identical, a single male aspen clone. And when you walk through Pando, you're not walking through a forest, you're literally walking on the back of a living giant. It's like something out of a fantasy novel or sci-fi film, but it's entirely real. Now here's where it gets truly mind-blowing. Scientists believe Pando has been growing for at least 10,000 to 14,000 years. That means it sprouted near the end of the last ice age, possibly before humans ever reached the area. But here's the catch. You can't just count tree rings like you would with a regular tree. The visible trunks only live about 100 to 130 years before dying and being replaced by new shoots from the root system. So Pando constantly replaces itself, regenerating and recycling its visible parts. It's kind of like Theseus's ship. Except instead of replacing one plank at a time, it replaces thousands of trees over thousands of years. Estimating Pando's age is like trying to guess the age of a river. The parts keep changing, but the system is continuous. Pando is often called the largest living organism by mass. Its total weight is estimated to be around 6,000 metric tons. That's heavier than 50 blue whales combined. But what about other record holders? There's a fungus in Oregon, known as the honey fungus, Armillaria ostoi, which covers over 3.5 square miles underground. It's older and larger by area, but not by mass. So while the honey fungus is vast, Pando still claims the title for largest organism by weight and most massive life form visible above ground. But there's a deeper philosophical question here. How do we define an individual organism? Is it the genetic code, the root system, the functional unity? Pando challenges our idea of individuality. It asks us to rethink what it means to be one. Why Trembling Giant? Well, it's partly poetic and partly scientific. Quaking aspens get their name because their leaves flutter and quake even in a gentle breeze thanks to flattened leaf stems. So imagine 47,000 leaves shimmering in unison, all belonging to one being. It's like watching a giant breathe. The name Trembling Giant captures both the visual effect and the awe this being inspires. But sadly, the Trembling Giant is trembling in more ways than one. Despite surviving millennia of climate shifts, fires, and human expansion, Pando is now facing a serious threat. You see, in recent decades, new shoots aren't growing fast enough to replace the dying trunks. Why? Because deer and elk populations have exploded, due in part to human interference. With fewer natural predators like mountain lions and wolves, deer are overgrazing Pando's young saplings before they have a chance to grow. Add in drought, disease, climate change, and insect infestations. and you have a perfect storm threatening the survival of this ancient being. Some scientists fear that without intervention, Pando could eventually die out completely, a loss that would be both ecological and symbolic. So what's being done? Conservationists have tried several strategies, like fencing off sections of Pando to protect young shoots from grazing. In the protected zones, the trees began to bounce back, but it's not that simple. Fencing such a massive organism is expensive and logistically difficult. Plus, the underlying problem, imbalanced ecosystems, is still in play. Some argue that bringing back natural predators could help. Others say we need active management, including planting and artificial protection. But all agree, Pando needs attention, awareness, and action. Because once it dies, we may never see anything like it again. Pando isn't just a scientific curiosity, it's a living monument to life's resilience. It blurs the line between individual and collective. It's not a forest, it's a single giant being made of thousands of visible parts, all working together. It's a reminder that life isn't always what it seems, that beneath the surface what looks like many may in fact be one. And in a world increasingly focused on short lifespans, fast change, and instant gratification, Pando teaches us about patience, continuity, and the slow rhythm of deep time. If you ever visit Fish Lake National Forest in Utah, take a moment to stand among Pando's trees. Listen to the leaves, feel the breeze. Know that you're in the presence of an ancient trembling giant still holding on. If this story blew your mind, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible hidden facts about our world. And drop a comment. Did you know this forest was actually one organism before today? Thanks for watching, and remember, the world is weirder, older, and more wonderful than it seems.